So that's obviously fun, but I didn't actually buy this in order to do that. Let's do something different with it. I did buy sugar-free gum. I think you guys probably know that 4 out of 5 dentists prefer sugar-free gum for their patients who chew gum. I don't think that's actually this brand. That was delightfully minty. We're now in the process of getting through the next step in this little hegira. It's primitive, but I think it'll do what I want it to do. So move on to the next stage here. I've never used this stuff before. I really hope I don't screw this up. The only thing I know for sure about it is that it's really expensive. We'll have to let that set overnight. So as you can see, I didn't adequately seal up the sides of my mold, so I wasted a lot of resin. Plus, I'm afraid I might have borked my work surface. Luckily, I don't appear to have borked my work surface. But anyway, let's see what I got here. If I don't know how I'm going to get into it. It's so we'll just try it and see. I'm afraid desperate times are going to call for desperate measures here. After much grinding, since I couldn't take the wood off physically, I just sanded it off. Clearly, this silicone spray mold release that I put on there, yeah, that did absolutely nothing. So let's take this here and see what we got. I can smell the gum. It's minty fresh. Well, of course. Yeah, that mold release did literally absolutely nothing. Let's clean that up a little more and see what we got. I think everybody's going to agree that this is brilliant. This is the truth to be universally recognized. I mean, that turned out way better than it had any right to turn out. I am mildly annoyed by the fact that it's got the ink staining in there, and I'll try to get it out later, but first I want to get a mold off of this, because if I screw it up, I'm in trouble, since my rubber stamp is kind of borked here. So let's move on to the next step. We're getting close. We're getting so close, which means we're going to keep going, because we're getting so close. A silicone rubber molding compound for making a casting mold. Here's just another classic example of me winging something when I haven't got the faintest idea what I'm doing. This is just a silicone rubber casting compound. Essentially all you have to do is put equal parts in and then mix it up until it's all the same color and pour it over the object you want to make a cast of. And as usual, I managed to come a cropper, so don't ever forget that I'm an idiot. Well, clearly I have a lot to learn about how to make silicone molds. I was supposed to spray this thing with mold release before I poured the silicone in, and I forgot. So I'll have to clean that up before the wife notices. Plus, the thing is not uniformly set very well, but it did produce a mold. So let's go ahead and just fill that up and see what we get. I'm not a real fan of the bubbles. We'll have to figure that out at some point. But for now, let's just do this. Let's give this baby an unmold and see what we get. I put it in the freezer for a bit because at room temperature it's still rather soft. Well, that's brilliant. I mean, honestly, that's just brilliant. You have to admit it's brilliant. I love that. I think I might have to fire up a merch alert here. This has got some real possibilities. Well, anyway, I think that's enough for an episode. Let's just call that one an episode. Thanks very much for watching. We'll be back probably with further adventures with soap sometime in the future. Hard to say for sure, but it wouldn't be too surprising. So anyway, thanks very much for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe if you want, and if you don't want, obviously that's fine too. Tell your friends again if you want, and again if you don't want. I'm okay with that. I won't be offended. Anyway, thanks very much. Thanks for your attention. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.